Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my Bricklink store. I am Joshua, owner of Blitz's $18 free ship. Here addressing a Q&A on the call with me, I have Austin and Donnie. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves. Go, Donnie.
Hi, my name is Donnie, and I run ABC Builds, and I'm currently living in Oregon.
Oh, wow. That's why I know you. Austin?
What's up, guys? My name is Austin. My store name is Badger Bricks. I'm selling out of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Well, I hope with the questioning phase you don't badger me too much. But anyway, I'm Joshua, recent transplant down to Florida from the Washington area. So welcome, gentlemen. All right. I am here to answer your question. So, Austin, you got the first question. How can I help you succeed?
As far as right now, my store has mostly been minifigure based, going into the beginning stages of my store. But I'm looking to finally scale to that point where I could move a little bit more into full time-ish. I have probably 80 sets right now sitting, waiting to be parted out and uploaded. I'm in the process of sorting all of the parts first, getting them into the drawers, and slowly uploading them. But tools like Brickstore, BrickSync, all these tools. Do you use tools, or how do you upload sets on a mass scale?
I do not use Sync or any of those. I actually use Bricklink. I'll look up the set. I'm actually just brought it up right now. And in the center is a heart with my wanted list. Below that is in blue, add to my wanted list, and below that is part out. I click part out. This takes me to a page that it interset number, parts, extra parts. I can do the minifigs as individual parts. And then I can actually pop a multiplier in there. So if I get 5 of that set, I can just put multiplier times 5, and that would, oh, sorry, that's wanted list. My bad. You said part out into inventory. So to the left of that,
Yeah.
let me back up. My apologies. I went down the wrong rabbit trail. Is the exact same process I just described to you, just my store inventory part out. And there, I haven't done this in a while. Quantity of sets is there, so you can increase. Break the set into parts and whole minifigures, or parts including minifigure parts, etc., etc. So that way you don't have to go over there. Follow,
Okay. So you always go through the actual Bricklink tool itself.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, so here's my question: is if you're watching this and you are a brick store, Bricklink, or not Bricklink, but BrickSync person, I don't know how that operates, and I think there's going to be a lot of people with questions on there. So if you want to come on a future video, you are welcome, and we're going to pick your brain if you want it to happen. So that's how I do that. Next
All right.
question,
Cool.
Donnie.
So, how do you choose what product to source for your store?
Um, Highest return on investment. So I work a little bit differently than I see a lot of other people working. I go on to OfferUp and I buy those 3 tubs my kid stopped playing with, and I go through those and I sort them out. I pull out what sets I want to complete, and I try to actually sell the classic sets as complete. I've got a whole Bricklink wanted list for that, and that is the highest ROI because I can go somewhere and I can pick up 200 for $200, $5,000 in sets and parts. So the way Austin's doing it by buying sets from like Walmart for clearance and then parting those out, that is the simplest way because once again, you just have that part out button and you go through it. My way is the slower way, but less money investment. So he invests more money and less time. I invest less money and more time. So you're going to pay one of those two when you do this. Next question, Austin.
So what is your highest month in sales for the last year, and how often, like, what's your turnaround time on most used pieces? Because I don't have any experience in selling.
Okay.
Only used pieces I ever sell are like minifigure accessories.
Yeah, minifigure accessories are pretty hot. I can sit on a piece for about 5 years and then somebody needs it.
Okay.
Not kidding, that does happen. The idea behind a good Bricklink store is wider and deeper, and that should catch you more customers. I have a pretty big store. It's pretty wide. In some areas, it's pretty deep. But right now, I'm actually transitioning to focus on rebuilding sets to sell sets. So the turnaround on that, depending on what they need, the difficulty I found with that is that Lego has become Bricklink vendors' biggest enemy. Because for the big mockers, they can go through a lug and do a lug bulk purchase and build their mock out of that lug bulk, so they don't really go to Bricklink and buy our stuff. Which is, harder on us. So yeah, you can sit on it for a long time before it actually sells, but it's basically wider and deeper to appeal to more customers. Does that answer your question, or?
Yeah, so just getting a large amount of inventory spread out across multiple genres.
Yeah. Now, the nice thing about if you buy new sets from Walmart and you part them out, you are going to get those minifigures sold off pretty darn quick and make your money back quick. And then you're probably just going to sit on the rest of your collection for a long time.
Okay, and also, what has been your biggest month in sales on
Oh,
Bricklink
right.
individually?
So in the last year, um, I th- I would say 1,500, sadly. This is a side gig for me, so I only have
Okay.
about 8 hours a week to actually work on it. So that's pretty good per hour, but pre 2019 up to March 2020 and the events that happened there, which shall remain unnamed so that we don't get tossed off something. A 400 week was a slow week for me. And then a $500, I would get $600 average, 800 gusts. Now a $400 week is like, we're in business and we're doing great. So I'm actually pivoting quite a bit right now into some other work. I've got this, it can just sit here and wait for somebody who wants to buy it. So,
Okay, cool.
next question, Donnie.
So with the used, you had mentioned it's a higher ROI, but how do you factor in your time? Because your time is worth something.
Yeah.
Because we all have a limited amount of it. So how do you factor in your time with the ROI?
Um, what I did at the beginning to test this is I would open up my store inventory and I would keep track. Let me show you. This is how I kept track of how much inventory I added a day. So it's got my beginning. So if after a day I worked 4 hours and I put up $200 in inventory or something crazy like that, it was a good day. And so that's how I kept track. Granted, once again, a lot of it sits here until somebody wants it, but that's how I was able to keep track of that time. If I started doing things where I was only putting up $15 a day, then I'd be like, yeah, this is broken. I don't want to do it this way anymore. And some days I would put up $15 because it's freaking plates modified. Takes you all day because that's such a big thing. Pet peeve. Um, but it's the bottom of the barrel, and I already got all the expensive windshields and stuff put on. So averaged out, if it's a good, say, double what I think a good wage is, inventory added, that means I did the hourly at what a good wage is. So it's a feelings math. So if I did $40 an hour, that's $20 an hour of income after I pack and sell the order. It's just all paid on the front end. Follow up? Nope. Okay. Back to you, Austin.
Uh, what do you what do you charge for shipping? And have you ever experimented in changing shipping prices? And what shipping program do you use, or do you go straight to the post office?
I use Pitney Bowes. First off, two important things. Pitney Bowes and stamps.com are about the same. I like going through USPS even for international. Pitney Bowes and stamps.com allow you to go international through USPS. It's a nice, simple system. There is a monthly fee, but for $5, I don't have to drive into the post office whenever I get an order. So just the time saved on those $5 is amazing. Another thing you want to do is get a label printer that rolls it off when you go this way. It will save you so much time. than printing out a page, taping it on, worst thing ever. When I first opened up, back to the big part of the question, that's the easy part. Shipping and handling, I learned the hard way. Um, I did experiment at the beginning, but now I'm pretty resolute in the way I do it. So I did have $5 shipping and handling, buy whatever you want, and then I'll ship it out for $5. The problem is when I first opened up, people would order $15 in parts and they were 3 cents at a time. So I'd spend an hour pulling a $15 order, and I'm like, I would regret it. So I changed my shipping policies in two ways. One is I have a minimum lot average of 32 cents now, I think. So that I'm not spending all day pulling out 3 cents and 5 cents. And that's goes to shipping because the other part of my shipping is I have $18 free shipping. Any order over $18, I do free shipping and handling. The converse of that is anything below $9, I do $9 shipping and handling. The reason being is the more somebody purchases from you, the less expensive percentage-wise shipping and handling is for that order. So I messed around with it until I got somewhere comfortable with I can eat the cost of the postage and the packaging at $18 and at an $18 shipment. So yeah, some people do get ticked off because they buy like 3 parts and I'm charging them $9 shipping and handling. But for that, they're paying for the postage, my time, the packaging, the printing of stuff, basically the costs that go into packing their order. And when they order $25 and it takes me, 20 minutes to pack, by that point, all of my time, all the postage, all that stuff is already paid for by the customer, and I can just be on my way. Does that make sense, or do I
Right.
need to clarify any part of that for either of you?
No, cool. That makes sense. And what were the two programs you said you use again for shipping? I use ShipStation directly through PayPal.
If that works for you, great. I mean, it's whatever. I use Pitney Bowes. The hard part about running a business with Pitney Bowes is they don't actually send you receipts for payments, and Stamps.com
Okay.
didn't either. So if you get receipts for your payments, or if there's a way to track it, because every time you buy postage, that is an IRS write-off. So yeah. So
All
whatever.
right, cool.
Yeah. But I do suggest the biggest time saver was actually spending $150 on a roller printer just to get that sticker out and put it on and just get it out the door quick.
I actually just got a label printer literally 3 days ago. I just
Yeah.
got one.
Confirmed. They're awesome.
Yeah, I just actually had two orders come in this morning, and yeah, the print out and slap it directly on the box was so the fact I didn't have to tape anything. It's mainly for the cost of ink. Ink is just ridiculously overpriced.
I actually upgraded to a laser printer specifically for the less cost of toner cartridges.
Yeah, and then when I realized that the label printer would only cost me my electricity, and uh, that the rolls I could get a roll of 250. I got 20 rolls of 250 labels for like $40 on eBay.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow, what a bang for the buck.
Yep. Another company to check out is uline.com. You'll see a lot of stuff there that's useful. All right, next
Okay.
question. Donnie.
So to kind of dovetail with the shipping question, why I am curious why you go with like you ship or Pitney through Pitney or whatever you're shipping with, rather than directly through PayPal. And then also you touched on the lot limits
Mm-hmm.
and what's the best practice because you see so much spectrum across the board on Bricklink stores, and some people love them, some people hate them. So I'm curious about that.
Um, First off, the reason I use Pitney Bowes is I also have an eBay store and then I had a private website. So having a one place where I can go and get all my shipping labels printed up was amazing for me. I might reconsider getting off of Pitney Bowes in the future, but it's there and it works. And I don't, if it ain't broke, I don't want to break it. So, that's it. It's habit right now. So there could be a better way. This is the way that I'm currently using. Um, Lot limits. So I have a minimum average lot limit. I have seen maximum lot limits, and I had to email a guy saying, "Hey, I want to drop $500 in your store, but you have a lot limit." And he's like, "Let me turn that off for you." But once again, his reasoning was that he didn't want to spend all day pulling 5 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents, 3 cents, 3 cents, 3 cents. So that's why I have the minimum average lot value set on my store so that I don't spend so much time picking an order. Yes, it means I don't get as many customers, but I don't get customers who waste my time. So I'm comfortable with that. Does that make sense? All right. Next question.
What is the basis of your sorting system? How do you sort intricately all the way down to the piece? Do you do bulk sorting? What's a just a quick base rundown of your sorting?
So when I get it the three big boxes in, so I've got a YouTube channel, Blitz Built Gaming Network, and on Rumble it's Musical Lego, where the L's are the same, so it's Musica Lego, all one word. On there you can actually see me sorting out the three big boxes. If you're really bored and need something to do, I play classical music or World War II music over it, so it's kind of interesting to just listen to the music. Um, and what I do is I get three big boxes. I identify the sets I want to pull out, and if like there's a jet plane, like I just got Jay's blue jet from Ninjago, and most of the jet plane was there. I'll pull that out, put it in a Ziploc bag, set it aside, and then I'll sort by category. And what I did is I made up all these category buckets with the categories written on the inside. And I just sit there and I sort. And when I moved to Florida from Washington, I had 10 massive buckets of unsorted Lego that I just sat in here and shot video and sorted like crazy. And then when those cups would fill up, I'd put them in a Ziploc bag. And then they were sorted into category from Bricklink, and then they were sorted down into the parts and then added individually. Um, After I did all that and spent so much time on that, I found out Brickignize is amazing. Brickignize.com. Just take the picture of the part and it'll tell you what it is most of the time. So, but yeah, and then I would put it in its category in my collection. So this is all alphabetical by category all the way down. The smallest things I have are in, let me get a good look at tray out here. So this is a Sterilite tray from Walmart, and I use Blitz trays, which I sell on my website, blitzbuilt.com. And the way these guys work is you can just pull out an entire tray, pull out the bucket, dump it out in your hand, get the parts, put them back in. So I spilled them all over my desk. And it's just a simple way to sort bigger. So this is the smallest things go is down into these. And then as they get progressively bigger, they get put in a bigger bucket. So this is like brick 1x4 through 1x6. How about boat? And then boat gets tossed into a really, really, really big bucket. It really just depends on the pieces and how they get sorted. But yeah, through category, then by part. And then when I pick an order, it's by category. So I just read down the list and I just go through and I grab whatever I need. And the cool thing is when people actually order a bunch of stuff out of my weapon inventory, it's one drawer. I just set it here and I just keep picking parts out like crazy. So, further question on that topic?
No, that was good.
Okay, next question.
So I've got a question about pricing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you price your? Obviously, it's going to be a little different because you do used. Austin has new stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
basically how do you come up with your pricing, and how do you avoid the race to the bottom? And if I need to explain that,
Oh, I know.
please. Okay. But yeah, just so people know. But yeah, how do I price stuff, and how do I avoid that race to the bottom?
Um, so when I price things, so quick word on race to the bottom. There's two ways you can race: is race to the top and race to the bottom. The problem is when you race to the top, you're competing against people who race to the bottom. So they'll sell as much stuff as cheaply as possible, just to get it sold out. Kind of like the dollar store. You can go there, you're probably not going to find what you need, and if you do, it's going to break quickly. Um, how I price things, there's three factors that go into it. I use the 6 months average sale and current items for sale value, and I add about 10% to that. Because what that system does, so the first part is I use that system. The second part is I add 10%, because if you look at prices in America versus prices internationally, that's about the difference in stuff in America. That usually is about 20 to 30% more expensive than international. Um, Thirdly, weight. Like I said, I do free shipping on orders over $18. So if I have a heavy piece, I'm going to charge a little bit more on that just to cover the postage costs. I have another sheet around here that has, I actually did all the math. Let's see. No, I did the math by gram, from gram to ounces, to tell me how much the Bricklink weight would charge me in shipping. And so if something was big enough and heavy enough to cost me another nickel, I would add the nickel to the cost of the part as well. So those are the three things I counter. If you don't do free shipping, if you do scaled shipping costs, then you might not need that third step. I did have a customer buy something from me, and they're like, "Why is your minifig so expensive?" I'm like, "Look at my minifig in America." Oh, I was right at the middle costs. So next question or follow up. Okay. Austin, you got a question?
This is the last question that I have for you. But do
Okay.
you ship outside of the United States? And if there was a time that you didn't ship out of the United States, what did you find the difference to be opening up to international shipping?
Um, International shipping generally costs more. Um, so it's currently some places $19 a package to ship, where inside of America it's only $4, $4.50. So there is that expense, but I also then did the math. Right now, internationally, it's $95 free shipping and handling internationally. Um, yeah, I basically did the math. Shipping internationally, the nice thing about Pitney Bowes and going through the USPS system is that they print out all the custom forms and everything for you. So you do still have to tape a sheet to the box and sign some things, but yeah, you can ship internationally.
So
And
you do offer international shipping.
yep, absolutely. Yeah, the biggest surprise to me was in early 2020, about April or May, I got an order from Australia. And for some reason, USPS stopped doing first class shipping to Australia, which was back then about $13, $14. And the cheapest the shipping to Australia could be was 65. So I actually had to suspend shipping to Australia. I had to let that customer know it was going to be $65 and whether he wanted to cancel or not. And he chose canceling instead of paying $65 for an, $12 order. So,
Okay, yeah, because I've explored on ShipStation, looking up options to open up to international, and pretty much every major country that I've quoted, a package has a minimum value of $20 to $30 to ship it to that country.
yeah.
And so I haven't opened up to international. Um, I was thinking of putting into my store though. If you're an international customer and you'd like to reach out, I could provide you with a shipping quote.
Yeah, the nice thing about international shipping is I had a customer from France. I found a very rare yellow window, a 1 by 6 by 6. And he contacted me and said, "Can you buy this one from," actually, it was Austin, Texas. Funny there. And I bought the one from Austin and shipped both windows out to him so that he could have them. So the nice thing about international shipping is sometimes it gets you, a little bit of extra side business. I know some Chinese customers will buy and have it shipped to an address, and then it'll get be bulk shipped over to China, several orders all at once. So there's a few people who do that. If you set up the pricing properly, people don't have a problem paying the extra shipping costs. So
Okay, so you have it set up so that you have like when you go into the shipping options on Bricklink on the website, it's a little bit complicated.
yep.
I feel like so you went in and did the individual setup that it's priced for each country so they could order from anywhere.
No, I did it. I did. You can select multiple countries. So
Okay.
yeah, you can select continents, and it'll just pick all the countries in that region, and then you can
Okay,
export.
so you have generalized pricing per continent.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So like what is it what is your generalized price for, anything in the European continent?
so it's free shipping, $95 and over, free shipping and handling. The other problem with European shipping is because Lego's right there, they really don't need to buy from us. So it's more
Yeah.
the Asian, South America customers that you'll want to hit.
So what do you have for like South America, for example? Like when I quoted it on ShipStation, it would cost me like $30 to send a package out there.
Well, if it costs you $30, then just pass that cost on to the customer.
Okay, so just set it as a $30,
Yeah.
$35 cost.
hmm It looks like
Okay.
we're running out of time. So really quick, any more really quick follow up, or did that help you there?
No, I'm good there.
Okay. Donnie, do you have more questions there?
Just one last question. What is it that makes your store stand out? Because I mean, there's hundreds, thousands of stores on Bricklink. Everybody wants to have a Bricklink store. What is it that you do to make your store stand out?
Um, I try to be the type of store I would want to buy from. And right now, because sales are slow, I'm doing other things like going on Facebook and answering questions of other Bricklink sellers. That's a lot of fun. Oh, I've got 8 minutes. Sweet. So I can actually answer this really quickly. I didn't see the timer counting down. Um, Actually, I'm dealing with a lot of who moved my cheese right now because sales are so slow because of 2020. A lot of people are jumping onto Bricklink as side sellers. Um, Welcome aboard. Thank you for coming. But the competition has gotten thicker. So what I'm doing is trying to go above and beyond. Like you said, try not to race to the bottom. So I'm trying to race to the top and I'm trying to see what that looks like right now. I'm also pivoting away from parts into sets because there's a lot higher collectors or people trying to rebuild their old sets on than there are right now a lot of people looking for extra pieces. So at least I think that's the way it is. But there's a few other business decisions I've made that while my parts isn't going to grow, I've got a few other things over here on this side that are going to grow and help out quite a bit. So I'm pivoting, following what's going to sell better. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Uh,
Appreciate the information.
My pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you for coming on. I'll try to do this as a weekly, but we covered so much ground here today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are successful in what you're doing, whether it's on Bricklink or somewhere else. Thanks again.